Amendment 470, Appendix C, Volume 1, November 1st, 2013. Any loss of amount or repaid amount. Fraudulent loan application cases on contract or permanent cases where defendant capability to fraudulently respond to actual loss of victims or loss of yet to come to expose unexpected losses from victims. For example, a defendant fraudulently obtains loan by misrepresenting value and assets. Loss of amount of loan repaid to the time offense is discovered, reduced by the amount lending institution was recovered. Expect to recover from assets pledged to secure the loan. And inserting delay, therefore, the fraudulent application case contract or permanent cases lost of an actual loss of victims, recover for assets, deleting notes that person or another, violating charge of embedding conspiracy import-export, this distribute for exception services author and amendment guidelines manifest is revised for the first offense. After the amendment guidelines took effect or effect cause does not prevent determining sentence cause. The sealed document services, as it says, Washington State on it, and the services has a Commission of Federal State guidelines on it, has been old and sealed long time ago. This document that they're coming through is this appeal process, and this document they're prying at and distributing through a subsection and screwing through it, like this effective date, which is October 15, 1991, October 28, 1991, the date of October 28, 1991, controlling date ex parte factos, the true defendant conduct relevant determination of the guideline range, relevant conduct including that they occurred November 2nd, 1991, revised guideline amendment took effect. These statute of limitations expired for fully effect of trying to erase information that's prudent and also necessary for the effect date of amendment of November 1st, 1993. The maximum penalty authorizing is death, life, imprisonment. The term imprisonment imposed statutory required minimum term in 20 years to life. 20 to life is what the sentence is, what the guideline is, what the service is in this increment. The maximum penalty authorized 18 U.S.C. 111 for first degree murder. The death of life imprisonment, whether mandatory term of life imprisonment. That's a cop-out. That's a sellout, pretty much. What do you think? That the increments on services for the increments. Let's keep on researching on this one. It says what it is black and white. Defendant convicted in first degree murder under 18 U.S.C. 111, matter of statutory interpretation of courts. Discussion after no supra regarding circumstances in which the downward departure may warranty this relevant penalty provisions USC 111 concerning permanent sentence and imprisonment or defendant convicted under statute expressly authorized sentences life imprisonments 18 USC 2113. Maximum penalty authorized 21 USC 848 death with imprisonment and imposed statutory minimum statute of 20 years to life. That's what it is, what it says.
Hey, it's too quiet here. I gotta make jokes somehow. Not if you gotta sit here all day and listen to it. There's too many cameras in here for that. Are you looking for the other attorney that just walked in? Oh.
go to cross-reference number C. It's online. It says the victim that was killed under circumstances would continue murder. 18 U.S.C. 1111. Had such killing taken place within the territory or maritime jurisdiction of the United States apply. 2A 1.1, first degree murder. Reason for amendment, amendment cross-reference on 2A 4.2, Barela section. It says, Amendment 478 versus the appendix, volume 1. The stomach valve and muscles tissue, also the serratus and also the stomach tissue on this front and the front lobule and the back of lats and also the curl machine and curl bars would exceed Boeing 45 50-pound Olympic bar, that is bow to synergy for the holding 900 to 805 pounds on the bench press machine, the squat rack, the military press machine, and services for moving up an upright position, also behind the neck position, also the back position, squatting to a full squat position. This is the Amendment 478, Appendix Volume 1, November 1st. And it says reasons for the amendment. The amendment clarifies the terms on other offenses. Other offenses in 2A 4.1B7, felony offenses, other offenses, any of offenses, 2K 1.3 or 2K 2.1 refer federal, state, local offenses. Additional amendment clarifies amendments. 2KB4 applies whether a defendant knew they had reason to believe firearm was stolen or had altered and operate serial number, meaning somebody took the weapon and fabricated a serial number, or added, appended a serial number, or removed the serial number in a discriminatory way because the weapon was not stolen anyway, belongs to the United States government. The weapon belongs to the United States government, and it is a U.S. government issue, military issue weapon. So that clarification from Amendment Volume 1, November 1st, 2003, A2K 1.3, and the person behind the weapon, with the weapon, has no record, recollection report, or any felony offensive services, because it says 2A 4.1B7, felony offenses, under felony offenses, other offenses, other offensive offenses. These services of 2K 1.3 and 2K 2.1. This individual has no offenses, definitely no felony offense for felony services or any discrimination don't fit in the circumstances. Child molestation, rapist, services of serial killers, or increases of cross-references of serving or having the dead arrangements of the ratifications of the USA. The reason for amendments of the cross-reference of addressing circumstances of defendant pursuing underlying kidnapping offense, or add cross-reference of 2B3.D11 and circumstances of victim murder during offense. Finally, amendment cross-reference, ensuring selection of appropriate guidelines. And the services, the active member, military status active member for the services, is still active member of the service for the experiments. This reason for amendment they discussed, they said the victim was killed under circumstances that would continue to murder. 18 U.S.C. 111 says killing taking place within circumstances the territory and merit jurisdiction of the United States apply to 2A 1.1 first degree murder. Section 2A 5.2, Section A 6.1B1, Section A 2A 6.1B2. Reason for amendment: language can be constructed by limited scope conduct which can find actable. Actable means accountable under 1.1, means responsible. Relevant conduct replaces language consists of use offenses guidelines. These are bilingual, these are translated, these are constituents, the scopes of the 7 increments of the Ethnical Committee. So this this renovation of steel workers that contributes for the millimeter and the scope and the lineage of the scope and the side of scope and angles on the millimeter. And if you're off by a millimeter, the beam that goes up will be offset by feet, by yards, by miles. Amendment Section 2A 5.2A1, Amendment deleting default and intentional endangerment, asserting lay therefore offense involved intentionally endanger. Amendment 4.8. This is Amendment 4.81. 2A 5.8 Amendment deleting reckless endangerment, asserting the lay involving reckless endangerment. Section 2A 6.1B1, amending by leading defendant engaging, asserting and lay therefore offense involved. Section 2A 6.1B2, amending deleting defend connect inserting in the lane. Reason for amendment deleting language could conspire concern as limiting scope containing which to actionable. 1B1.3, relevant conduct replaces language consists use other offenses guidelines. The statutes and information is protected in firewall, Microsoft program, in their service and cross-references. These service and contemporary amending and inserting to found guilty, not and otherwise. For the services that it can convict or convict you for any of these services and agreements with service because you didn't talk to police officer, give information. And if they did have a device without your knowing or knowing so, and they're admitting that they had a device on them and in person information, you have every right to take that device and information and process and have the watch bar system enforced. This be in a local residence area for committing this commission, reasonable commission for offense, which there is section 2B 3.2C. References to inserting lane, inserting remaining subdivisions, inserting falling subdivision. If a victim was killed under circumstances would constitute murder under 18 U.S.C. 1.1 had killing taken place within territorial merit jurisdiction United States apply to a 1.1 first degree murder. Section 2B 3.3 amended by inserting following additional subject cross references. C. The offense involved extorting under color official right applying to C 1.1 offering, giving, soliciting, receiving, bribing, extortion under color of official right. Number 2. The offense involved, and that's on your department license, your CDL A and B, and it says white, W-H-I-T, not Mexican, Puerto Rican, black, Muslim, Jew, and Shiite. Certain military status, full automatic, and that says full automatic issuance on A and B, and C, and also the processing for leaving parked vehicle in a park facility of liquor deterrent, and also services, and that's MRCMSE. That's the labeled boxes and services and increments, and on the label and carrying services for the carrier. Cross-reference the offense involving extortion and color of right applied to C1 point offering soliciting and receiving bribe extortion under color of official right. Number 2, official involving external force that threaten injury, serious damage apply. 2B 3.2 extortion, force, threat, injury, and serious damage. Section 2D 1.1 amending inserting following additional subsections. Cross-reference and a victim killing subsection killing 169 would constitute murder under 18 U.S.C. 111 had such killing taken place within territorial merit jurisdiction United States, applying to a 1.1 degree murder. Cross-reference and killing circumstance constitute murder 18 taking place within territorial maritime. And the amendments continued on November 1st, 1993. Section 2B 1.1 amending title inserting transport transferring property and therefore Section 2B 1 B2 amend inserting a omitting if by inserting items object offense B stolen property transport transferring possession of which firearms, structures, device, controlled substance immediate following 1.1 B4 amend inserting a amendment following if stolen property received transport. It is better.